Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Ethereum Classic's price chart, and what we talked about in the previous video absolutely did not play out, and I would like to apologize for it because if you remember the last time that we talked about ETC, I think we were right in here, and the idea was that if we want to be bullish, then okay, we have to consider having in this area, starting from the lowest low, a series of 1-2s. This can be 1-2 followed by another 1 and a 2 on a lower degree, and then even another 1 and a 2, meaning what? This move has to continue if we are bullish, and as you can see, unfortunately it didn't. Now here's the situation. I do think that soon in Ethereum Classic we are going to have a move on the upside. Why? Okay, let's just do this. Actually, first things first, let's just do a quick comparison between the current move down that we are having from this high to about here. How long is it taking for us to have this move? About 130 candlesticks on 30-minute time frame. On the other hand, this whole move up took us 420 candlesticks, meaning what? Seems like in the current phase down that we are having, bears are quite strong, and that unfortunately opens the door to having some bearish structures, especially because, as you can see clearly between our pullbacks up in these phases, we are really not having a whole lot of overlapping of the waves, and that, my friends, is a characteristic of, you know it, an impulsive structure on the downside. And I'm here to tell you, we are probably having, excuse me, from like this point to about here, maybe a wave 1, let's say actually to about this point, correction for 2, another move down into wave 3. I think this might be some sort of a flat structure into wave 4, and what's next? Probably in ETC, another short-term move on the downside into wave 5. However, number one, I don't really expect for this move down to be that deep, and number two, if you remember earlier in the video, I said we are going to get a move up. So what? Okay, let's go with the most pessimistic scenario, suggesting in ETC we have not hit our final low down here about, let's say, $20, and we are going to have some more downward price action. Let's go with that scenario. Okay, in that case, after completing an impulse down, what are you going to have? You know what? We are going to have a move on the upside, but that move up should have certain characteristics. Chief among them is being slow and choppy, and between our pullbacks, you have to be able to find overlapping of the waves if you want to say this is a correction. So let's have a quick conclusion. In Ethereum Classic, I think this move down is really not a good sign if you want to be optimistic and call this point our final low, since we are having quite a strong move down in form of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you still insist on being bullish, you know what, that's absolutely fair enough. Actually, in the interest of being objective, we should also consider a bullish scenario as well. So let's just say this. I think this is a 5-wave down, but if I am wrong, and this is actually a sharp correction structure on the downside, and for example, in ETC, at the moment, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure how, but you know, let's say somehow this is a wave 1, correction for 2, and then we're going to get a very strong move up into wave 3, 4, 5. Then, okay, what's next? You know the answer. A very strong bounce back, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, without a lot of overlapping of the waves. Now, if we get this thing, okay, fair enough. Maybe at that point, I'm going to change my tone and be a bit bullish. On the other hand, if we get a very slow move on the upside that is going to take, I don't know, let's say a week to 10 days, okay, that's going to be really bad, suggesting overall, this is 5 down, this is correction up. We are dealing with a bearish setup, suggesting the next move, unfortunately, is going to be a good one down. So one way or the other, in the short term, let's say in the next couple of days, we can expect a move up, but the move itself is not really that important. What really matters is the shape of it, and let's pay attention to that, because that is really going to determine what's next in ETC. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Ethereum Classic's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.